A small passenger plane from Brazil to America is carrying only 8 passengers. The route changes suddenly. A violent storm forces the pilot to fly over the vast Amazon jungle. But then, a terrifying chapter begins that none of the 8 people could have imagined. A curious passenger wants to know why the route was changed. The flight attendant smiles softly and says that the weather on the main route is dangerous, so the pilot has decided to fly over the Amazon as a safer alternative. The passengers are not too worried, but that relief does not last long. After a while, the entire plane starts to shake. The pilot is shocked. The GPS system is off, the control panel is useless, and radio communication is also lost. All avenues for quickly calling for help are closed. However, the pilot seemed to have had a glimpse of this danger some time in advance. While recording one last video message on his phone, he desperately tries to control the plane. Avoiding the mountains, using the branches of dense trees as brakes, he somehow stops the plane. All 8 passengers survive, but the flight attendant, who was not wearing a seatbelt, dies on the spot. In the cockpit, several tree branches are seen penetrating the pilot's chest, yet he is alive. Dr. Kevin realizes that the pilot's vocal cords are damaged. He cannot speak. But this pilot is their only hope of saving them. Suddenly, there is a sound of fire outside. Everyone runs out and somehow puts out the fire. This plane is their only refuge. After understanding the situation, the 8 people move on to the introduction phase. Jack, an insurance company detective. Dr. Kevin, a longtime doctor, now in the medical equipment business. Christy calls herself a traveler, but does not open her mouth about her past. Carlos, a Mexican wrestler, going to a competition. Danny and Amy are introduced as a newlywed couple, but the story is more complicated. David and Lisa, a hotelier couple, going for David's heart surgery. Jack is the first to say that all the food and water on the plane must be rationed. The calculation shows a maximum of 3 days' worth of supplies. Dr. Kevin makes a brave decision to gather the necessary equipment and perform the pilot's surgery in this condition. The surgery was unbearable without anesthesia, but incredibly successful. After a night's rest, the pilot is able to talk. But the next morning, everyone is shocked. The pilot is dead. There are no signs of infection on the body. Lisa, who was once a nurse, notices that the pilot's face is unusually black. Strangulation. But she does not say anything publicly, because the killer is one of the 8. Christy notices Carl eating stolen food. The next day, Carl takes a GPS device with Kevin and Carly and sets off to the top of the mountain. While climbing, Christy's foot slipped. The device also fell off the edge. Knowing that death was certain, Christy grabbed the device first. Carl's and Kevin risked their lives to pull both of them up. This moment gave rise to a deep trust between the 3. Upon reaching the top, Carl's activated the device. The signal would spread within a few hours, but Carl's could not be found at night. The next morning, Christy and Kevin followed a flock of birds and found Carl's body, murdered with a knife. It was then learned that David had also been killed by eating poisonous mushrooms. Lisa then told everyone the truth. All 3 deaths were planned. The rain caused the ceiling of the plane to collapse and many white packets to fall out. Everyone understood this plane was a drug smuggling vehicle. That's why the tickets were so cheap. The plane was deliberately crashed in the jungle because of a leak, and the killer inside is killing everyone one by one to get the goods. Christy finds Lisa's gun, bullets, and a satellite phone in Jack's bag. Suspicion falls on Jack. He is tied up. But Christy feels a pang. If he were the real killer, he would have stolen the whole gun. She secretly unties Jack and tells him to escape. In America, Jack's wife, Claire, a government investigator, appears at the airline office. It is revealed Jack actually went on a secret investigation against that airline. That means he is not the killer, but he has been framed.
Danny and Amy are shot dead at night. Only 3 people survive: Jack, Christy, and Dr. Kevin. All 3 know that the killer is among them. The Mexican army has received a GPS signal and has set off in helicopters. Rescuers are on their way. But will the real killer strike again before they arrive? The next episode of the series continues with the answer, with even bigger twists in store. Stay tuned for part 2.